At NAB this year we announced obviously the URSA camera, the URSA EF, the URSA PL, and we talked about the URSA B4 mount and also the URSA which has the HDMI module on the front. At IBC this year we're actually demonstrating the PL version and the EF, and we have great news that the EF is actually shipping already. We started to ship those units around about 2 weeks ago. Hi, my name's Stuart Ashton. I'm Director of Blackmagic Design for Europe, Middle East and Africa. I'm here at IBC 2014 here in Amsterdam, and I'm going to talk you through some of our new and exciting products. The URSA camera, for those of you who are not familiar, is a large format camera with a Super 35mm sensor, global shutter, can shoot up to 60 frames per second, records on 2 CFast, and also has multiple LCD screens for viewing. Probably the thing which is one of the most prominent features is the 10-inch monitor, which is quite unique to a camera of its size, giving you a full image of what it is that you're actually acquiring, delivering a great quality image back to the DOP or the director. There are also 2 monitors on the camera as well, on the inside and on the outside of the camera, for entering your metadata and also for viewing things like time code and also your focus. Blackmagic has designed such a camera because this now has all the professional connections for SDI, for XLR audio, and also gives you the ability to be able to work with multiple people around that camera. So when you're actually in an environment where you may have a director, you may have a DOP, you may have an audio guy, all of you can collectively work around the same space and not feeling like you're impeding on everybody. That camera starts at a price of €4,625, and you know, from there on it also has a upgradable mount on the front as well, which gives you the ability to upgrade that sensor and that mount at a later date. The URSA's 35mm sensor also has 12 stops of dynamic range. What that means is that you have a huge amount of latitude to work within a range of light differences. So whether you're working in a light environment or a dark environment, you have 12 stops there to be able to work with. That's hugely important when out in production because you know, you never know what you're going to get when you turn up in an environment where you don't have the lighting. So it gives you extra flexibility when you set that into a colour correction process and allows you to pull out an enormous amount of detail. The size of the URSA camera is much larger than the other cameras that we have today. We see that being used maybe more in a typical documentary style or a drama environment or in a digital film production. You know, we see that, you know, this really is a camera that can be used either by one individual or by multiple individuals. I think that what was great about the smaller Blackmagic Cinema camera and the production camera 4K is they really pick up run and gun cameras. With this camera, we really see that being used on dollies and tracks and on tripods, and in an environment which is allowed for a lot more time to develop the scene and develop the environment in which you're going to shoot. When designing a camera such as the URSA, one of the things that's very important is the ergonomics of it and how it actually works. I think that, you know, the image that you get back is ultimately what people will see on their television set. But when you're actually working with a device, what you need to make sure is that things are where you expect them to be. And I think that what we've worked very hard on is not only giving a great opportunity to see what it is that you're working on, but the menu structures and the buttons and the connections that are on the camera are in a place that you would expect them to be. So things like having SDI outputs on the back of the camera, having the media protected on the inside of the camera, having a HD SDI output in the front of the camera so you can connect things like a viewfinder, and also XLR connections in a place that can be accessed without interrupting the DOP. All these things are well thought out in terms of the layout of the camera. And also as well, things like cooling are very important. You've got to make sure that the camera is quiet and the camera actually runs coolly. And we've gone to great lengths to ensure that that happens.